Hi guys, so yes, I am back again. A few hours later, I did a video earlier today, and I'm back again. 2 videos in a day. I think that's my first time ever. But yeah, I wasn't planning to do another video for a few days at least. But then some breaking news has come out for WWE, and I think I just got to do a quick little reaction to it. Oh boy, it's just as usual for WWE. It's another frustrating news announcement. I'm pretty disappointed. So yes. Cesaro has apparently left WWE. Yeah, he's not. He hasn't been released, or he hasn't come to terms with WWE. Apparently, he's just decided to leave. Apparently, because they tried to write a new contract with him, and apparently it didn't go according to plan. So he's decided to call it quits at WWE, which is a massive shame. I've always been a really big fan of Cesaro, and it sucks to see him go. Yeah, he's quietly left. Well, he left. He's left at the end of his contract, which he's allowed to do. It's what footballers do. He's left at the end of his contract, and it's a massive shame. But yeah, maybe it's the right thing to do because he was never really going to get that big push, was he? So yeah, it's a shame. But so this is breaking news. This was in like the last hour. This is broken. So I'm on Metro. So this is what I'm going to say. So WWE star Cesaro leaves company after 10 years in shock exit. So yeah, 10 years in WWE. So Cesaro has reportedly left WWE almost a decade after his first SmackDown appearance. The Swiss Superman, who held the United States title and became 7-time tag team champion through partnerships with Sheamus, Tyson Kidd and Shinsuke Nakamura, is said to have quietly left the company after the two sides couldn't come to an agreement on a new deal. As first reported by PW Insider and corroborated by Fightful, Cesaro hasn't signed an extension and his contract has expired. With this being the end of his deal, rather than a release, there will be no 90-day non-compete clause, meaning he will be free to appear for another promotion as soon as he chooses. So maybe he's going to go to AEW. While the former champ enjoyed a long career in WWE, he signed a developmental deal in 2011 before debuting on SmackDown in April 2012. However, he was never presented as the major player as fans saw him as. Yeah, nail on the head. That just sums up Cesaro. Extremely underused. It's so underused, man. That guy had main event all over him. However, at last year's WrestleMania, he finally had his first singles match at the Showcase of Immortals when he beat Seth Rollins in a fantastic match. It was a really good match with Seth at WrestleMania 37 last year. Probably one of the best matches of both nights. It was definitely top 3 in my opinion, top 3, top 4. Really good match with Seth. And then the pay-per-view afterwards, at WrestleMania Backlash, he enjoyed a high-profile feud and match facing Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. He didn't win, but it was a really good match with Roman. However, the company didn't follow up on the momentum he was building, which is something the man himself was disappointed with, he said here. But yeah, he was just incredibly underused, Cesaro. It's such a shame. And after his match with Roman, he continued his feud with Seth for a little bit. He lost, and then he just kind of went back down the card and just did loads of mid-card stuff, which was a huge shame. So speaking to Metro last year, this is what Cesaro said. I had a very good start to the year, and then I kind of hit a roadblock, so to speak. But then the match gets announced with me and Walter, because I know that because I saw him. He was at the live show in Liverpool last year. He faced Walter in a pretty good match, and for Walter. And people just get so excited about it. And that's just based on the reputation that we both have. To me, that just proves, hey guys, just imagine how that reaction would be, if we continued how we started the year, here. When it comes to those moments when everything isn't going as smoothly, or as he or his fans would hope, Cesaro admitted he tried to let his work do the talking, even after moments like boss Vince McMahon questioning his ability to connect with the crowd. I remember on the podcast years ago, Stone Cold was like, when are you going to push Cesaro, Vince? This guy's incredible. He's got all the makings of a top star. And Vince just went, when he connects with the crowd, when he's not quite connecting with the crowd. And because he's Swiss, his English isn't that good. He needs to work on his English a little bit more. He needs to connect. And like Vince, didn't you see thousands of fans with Cesaro section channel? Yeah. And this was Cesaro. But there's sometimes the stuff I cannot explain, and it doesn't get explained to me either. It's like, oh, everything's great, and you're like, okay, so yeah, that's Cesaro. Pretty much pretty much just disappointed with the company as he got booked after wrestling. Yeah, this was almost a Cesaro wishes WWE bosses had kept up momentum after WrestleMania run. Yeah, but they didn't, which is a shame. So yeah, that is Cesaro, guys. He's left the company. And it wasn't all bad. Like I said, he did get a lot of stuff to do. He had the tag team with Tyson Kidd. When he first came in, he was United States champion for 239. I think it was 239 days, which was a long run in 2012, 2013. So okay, he had a good run with the US title. 8 years ago. He had the Real Americans, didn't he, with Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger for a little bit. Except he was with Tyson Kidd. They were a team for a while. Tyson Kidd. There we go. And here's Dave Meltzer on Cesaro. Cesaro was on the verge of big things, with fans getting behind what they expected would be a babyface turn. Then it fell apart. They did a heel turn to put him with Paul Heyman, remember that, and apparently figured that enabled them to not give him wins at all since Heyman was with him. Yeah, and it just fell apart and he was forgotten about. And that was 2014. Oh yeah, and of course Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal back in I think it was the first one, wasn't it? In WrestleMania 30 in 2014. Yeah, that was incredible. And he suplexed Big Show. Then you had the Cesaro section, and then he had, which was cool, the whole Cesaro section where he got really over. But nothing ever happened. And then the Bar. I think the Bar was like his biggest thing when he teamed up with Sheamus for 3 years or 2.5 years, and they were numerous tag team champions. I think him and Sheamus became were they 4-5-time tag team champions. They had some good reigns, some great matches, some great feuds with the New Day, the Usos. They had some really good matches, the Bar, and some great defenses. So I think Sheamus and Cesaro together, that was a really good run for the Bar. And then he just kind of went back into doing singles competitor, not doing that much. And like we said, this year, that last year, sorry, he had a good performance in the Elimination Chamber, didn't he? He didn't win, but then he had that great match with Seth at WrestleMania, which we said. That's what Cesaro can do. And then he had that great match with Roman. He didn't win. Then back down the card he went. And his last match, I think, was a few weeks ago on SmackDown, where he just lost clean to Baron Corbin. That says it all. So yeah, and here we go. Today it was reported that Cesaro's contract had expired and that he and WWE failed to come to terms on a new deal during negotiation, thus ending his 11-year tenure with the company and making him a free agent. Yeah, and Cesaro, that's it for Cesaro and WWE, and he will definitely go down as one of the most underused, underappreciated, just underrated talents in the company. They dropped the ball with him, man. They really, really should have given him at least one world title reign. And like I said, it wasn't all bad. He was, like I said, 7-time tag team champion. That's impressive. He had a long US title reign. He won the first Andre the Giant Battle Memorial back in WrestleMania 30. So they did give him a few things, but it just wasn't enough. They never pushed him to that next level. He was always just a mid-carder or a tag team guy. And Cesaro was better than that, man. But at 41 years of age, I think he's still got definitely a few years left in the tank before he probably calls it quits. And he's widely regarded. I think Cesaro is one of the best pure wrestlers there is. Fight me, I think he is one of the best just in-ring workers there is. And the fact that they never gave him that world title match, they did, but he didn't win, world title push, criminal, absolutely criminal that they didn't do that. And it's a shame. He's just, because the guy's such a talent, man. It just sucks he never got that big push. Cesaro is widely considered one of the best performers in professional wrestling. His wrestling ability has been praised by fellow wrestlers and wrestling icons such as Stone Cold, Mick Foley, and Jim Ross. In 2019, a report called him one of the best pure wrestlers in WWE, so how I just said. Criticism has been levelled at WWE for underutilising Cesaro creatively on their shows. Later in his career, he became known as a tag team specialist due to his successful partnerships with Jack Swagger, Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, he was tag team. Yeah, of course, he had a little tag team within, didn't he, with Shinsuke for a little bit. He also received praise for his pre-WWE tag teams with Chris Hero and Bryan Danielson, because of course he was before he was in WWE, he was a big star in the Indies, wasn't he? He was in PWG and Ring of Honor for quite a long time, wasn't he? So yeah, that's it, guys. So farewell to Cesaro in WWE. Criminally underused, but I do hope maybe he'll go to AEW. Maybe we will see. He could have some great matches in AEW. We will see, guys. What are your thoughts on the Swiss Cyborg being released? I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, I think. And yeah, I'm gutted, but it was obvious they weren't going to use him. So best now. I think he's still got a few years left in his prime. He can go off and have some great matches and some great feuds, maybe in AEW or another promotion, because he was never going to get. The minute he got pinned by Corbin on SmackDown a few weeks ago, and I think he got pinned by Otis a few weeks or months before that. So that just tells you he went straight back down. They didn't build on his momentum after his big win over Seth, after his great big match of Roman at WrestleMania Backlash. Nope. So, what are your thoughts, guys? Comment below. Let me know. And to Cesaro, I wish you all the best of luck, mate. I still think he's one of the best pure wrestlers in the company, one of the best pure wrestlers in the world. So he can go off and maybe have some great matches in AEW or New Japan, wherever he wants to go. So thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye. Oh.